know a thing or two about recruiting, because we had Muffet McGraw and she talked about recruiting Caitlin, getting her to commit to Notre Dame, and then, Caitlin changed her mind and went to Iowa. What do you remember about that? And what?
When it comes to recruiting, few stories are as dramatic as Caitlin Clark's journey to college basketball stardom. Everyone remembers the headlines. Caitlin committed to Notre Dame and then shocked the world by choosing Iowa. But what really happened behind the scenes? Lisa Bluder, the legendary Iowa coach, shared an extraordinary glimpse into that whirlwind period. She recalls vividly the moment Caitlin reached back out. It wasn't a last-minute pitch, Lisa explains. Once she told us she was going to Notre Dame, we left it alone. But over the weeks, it became clear she wasn't fully committed. I remember exactly where I was, sitting in a restaurant with my husband, trying to eat, and then her call came. I went out into the alley because I knew I'd be way too excited otherwise. She asked, "Do you still have a spot for me?" And I said, "Yes, absolutely." That was it. Just like that, Caitlin made her choice. There was no dramatic persuasion at the end, no hard sell, just a decision made over time and a coach ready to welcome one of the game's brightest young stars. That moment set the stage for something extraordinary, not just on the court, but in shaping a person. Caitlin Clark's public persona is fierce, confident and laser-focused, but there's so much more to her. Lisa Bluder revealed the side of Caitlin fans rarely see: the laughter, the warmth, the trust she gives to those who earn it. The best part of coaching Caitlin, Lisa says, was seeing her off the court. She's goofy, hilarious, and when she trusts you, she loves fully. That side of her doesn't show up on TV, but it's who she really is. During long tournament runs, like those intense COVID-era trips to San Antonio, the team would be confined in hotels for weeks. They even had a slogan: live, love, laugh, Lita. Those moments of bonding, away from the lights and cameras, forged connections that would last a lifetime. Basketball gave the wow moments, Lisa adds. But the real highlights were just being around Caitlin, seeing her joy, seeing her care about her teammates. While Caitlin dazzled on the court, Lisa had growing concerns about the state of college athletics. The landscape was shifting dramatically, with NIL deals, pay-for-play collectives, and a me-first mentality threatening to overshadow the values she held dear. "I'm all for players earning from their name and likeness," Lisa says. "They should have had that for years. But when collectives are effectively paying players to come to certain schools, it crosses a line." The game was losing its way. It used to be about education, life lessons, and a team-first mindset. Now, it felt like it was all money, and I just couldn't coach in that environment. This wasn't just a personal opinion. Other legendary coaches like Nick Saban expressed similar concerns. Lisa's decision to retire wasn't a retreat, it was a stand. She chose to leave the sport she loved on her own terms, protecting her values and her sanity. Caitlin Clark's talent is undeniable, but Lisa didn't shy away from sharing one of the challenges of coaching her: her stubborn streak. "She's incredibly driven and stubborn, and I'm stubborn too," Lisa admits. "Sometimes we clashed, but Caitlin always wanted to learn. She wanted to be her best. That's what made it work." The challenge was learning how to integrate her phenomenal skill into a team environment. In high school, Caitlin could carry games solo. College demanded a different approach, trusting teammates, elevating others, and sharing the spotlight. Caitlin had to learn that not everyone operates at her intensity level, and that's okay. Lisa explains, "You work with what you have," and she learned that. By the time she left Iowa, she wasn't just a great player, she was a great teammate. Few moments in women's sports history are as iconic as the crossover game at Kinnick Stadium. Over 55,000 fans packed a football stadium to watch Iowa women's basketball. And for many, it was a transformative experience. Women cried in the stands, not just cheering for points, but for what it represented: recognition, equality, and opportunity. Lisa credits Caitlin for much of that energy. "Caitlin drove it," she says. "It wasn't just basketball. It was culture. It was inspiration. It was changing perceptions." And the team raised $4 million for the Children's Hospital while they were at it. That's the kind of impact she had. It wasn't about stats or highlights. It was about creating moments that mattered and showing that women's sports could fill massive arenas and capture the world's attention. Caitlin's move to the WNBA brought new challenges. The rivalry narrative with Angel Reese, blown up by the media, painted a story that simply wasn't true. Lisa couldn't hold back her disappointment. So much focus was put on manufactured drama, she says. It wasn't fair to either of them. They were young, learning, and trying to grow in a new league. The media's obsession added unnecessary pressure, but Caitlin handled it with remarkable maturity. She didn't let headlines define her, and she refused to be drawn into petty conflicts. Instead, she focused on her growth, on her teammates, and on the game itself. The lessons she learned at Iowa, teamwork, trust, perseverance, became her compass in the WNBA. She actively sought to build genuine connections with her teammates, understanding that success wasn't just about scoring or stats, but about creating chemistry and cohesion on and off the court. Her ability to channel her competitiveness in constructive ways is evident in how she communicates during games, supports younger players, and maintains composure under pressure. She's learning to balance her intensity with patience, realizing that leadership is about lifting others as much as dominating the game. In every huddle, every timeout, and every practice, Caitlin demonstrates that she's not just a prodigy, she's a leader, and her depth of character shines through. What stands out most in Lisa's interview is Caitlin's depth as a person. When she trusts someone, she gives fully. She's loyal, loving, and fiercely protective of those around her. She's not someone who gives her trust easily, Lisa says, but once you have it completely. That's loyalty. That's character beyond the sport. Her stubbornness, so often seen as a challenge, was a core ingredient in her success. To take the shots she takes, to carry the confidence she carries, she had to believe in herself, even when others doubted her. And that stubbornness, when channeled, became her superpower. The journey from high school star to college leader is never easy. Caitlin had to learn that dominance alone couldn't win championships. She had to lift her teammates, share responsibility, and cultivate trust. Lisa recalls the moments that mattered most, not the trophies, but the people. Breast cancer awareness games, hospital visits, moments where basketball intersected with humanity. Caitlin was at the center, learning, growing, giving. But it wasn't just about showing up. She poured her heart into these moments, understanding that her platform came with responsibility. Young fans would see her on the court and aspire to be like her. But Caitlin made sure they also saw what it meant to lead with empathy, to show kindness, and to give back off the court. She took the time to connect with teammates in ways that went beyond basketball. Late-night conversations, mentoring sessions, small gestures of support. These were all part of her leadership. Caitlin understood that greatness wasn't measured solely by points or accolades. It was measured by the influence you leave on those around you. She inspired not only her teammates, but an entire generation of young athletes watching from home. Every visit to a hospital, every community event, every heartfelt conversation reinforced that basketball could be a force for good. Caitlin didn't just play the game, she changed it, and she reminded everyone that true success combines talent, heart, and impact. She's not just a basketball player, Lisa says. She's someone who cares, someone who leads, someone who loves. And that's what makes her special. Beyond the court, Caitlin used her platform to elevate others, whether it was mentoring younger teammates, encouraging fans to chase their dreams, or lending her voice to causes that mattered. She understood that being great in basketball wasn't just about personal accolades. It was about impact, legacy, and responsibility. Fans who met her often left, inspired not only by her talent, but by her humility, her generosity, and the way she made everyone around her feel valued. Every practice, every game, every interaction was an opportunity for Caitlin to model leadership, compassion, and resilience, lessons that extended far beyond basketball and into everyday life. In the end, Caitlin Clark is more than the highlight reels, the stats, the headlines. She's a stubborn, loyal, brilliant human being who navigated every challenge with focus and heart. Lisa Bluder's interview gives us a rare, intimate look at that journey. The laughter behind the pressure, the lessons behind the success, and the love behind the leadership. Caitlin's journey teaches us that greatness isn't just measured in points or championships. It's measured in how you grow, how you lead, and how you leave a lasting impact on the game, on your teammates, and on the world. And as Lisa reflects, it's clear, coaching Caitlin Clark wasn't just a career highlight. It was a privilege, a challenge, and a story that will be told for generations.